My mission is to talk about family life. One of the things that has come to my awareness of the central importance of family was the attack of COVID-19 worldwide. Greetings to you all, my listeners in Zimbabwe and in the diaspora. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Chada. I'm a member of the Methodist Church in Zimbabwe. My mission is to talk about family life. Family life in Zimbabwe and internationally. My main motivation to hold this series of talks or teachings on family life is that marriage and a family life as an institution has come under very serious attack in our society as well as internationally. Yet, this is a very important institution here in Zimbabwe and internationally. My aim is therefore to restore the central importance of marriage and family life in our society and internationally. One of the things that has come to my awareness of the central importance of family was the attack of COVID-19 worldwide. When COVID-19 threatened our lives, what I discovered was that we all ran back to the family home. And that emphasized the supremacy of the institution called family home. I therefore would like to speak on the power of the family home, the shaping influences of the family home on all of us, more importantly, on the children. I'll start by quoting from Psalm 127, verse 1. Unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. The role of the family home is probably the highest and the greatest and the most glorious calling to which any person can ever be called. There can be no question that the role of the family is a unique and sacred stewardship of life. There is no institution under heaven as important, as honorable, and as powerful, with such shaping influences in the life of a child as the family home. Like the tongue, the family home has the power of life and death on its members. Everything rises and falls on the state of the family home under parental leadership. Why do I say that? First, the future of society depends on the state of the family home. Second, the future of the nation depends on the state of the family home. Third, the future of the world depends on the state of the family home. Fourth, the peace of the world depends on the stability of the family home. Mother Teresa, that great woman of God and founder of the Order of the Missionaries of Charity, was asked one day what the solution to world peace was. And she replied, "Let everyone go home and love their families." I repeat, let everyone go home and love their families. She was literally saying that the chaos and conflict in the world today has its foundations in the way the family home and family values have been abused. No nation can be better than the health and stability of the individual families that make up that nation. This is because the family is the nucleus of any nation, and any people, any clan, any tribe, any race, whether the nation is big or small, the family is the nucleus of that nation. The family stands as a fundamental social group of any typical society everywhere. Family success is the foundation of all round successes, whether we are talking about in school for our children, whether we are talking about running businesses, whether we are talking about working in professions, whether we are talking about being in politics or in the arts. The family success is central because it is foundational. Any man or woman who succeeds as the head of the family is sure to succeed in anything that he or she does in life. God created family for success and not for failure. Our mission on earth is success. Our mission in the family is success. The Word of God is the factory for family success. There is no limit to the blessings that God can bring to all areas of your life or my life when you lead a successful family life. So the basis of success in the world is stable family life. There is joy which comes with any family life from wherever you are. The successful family can be likened to a highly valuable product. The family home, if I may say, is the nearest thing a child will ever come to that heaven on earth as the healing place of the soul. A functional family is that heaven on earth. Indeed, a functional family, a successful family, is one that works effectively and productively for its members. The family home can also be the nearest thing a child will ever come to that hell on earth. Some families do destroy the future of their children. When a family is dysfunctional, that family is the hell on earth for the child. First, what are the positive qualities of a functional family home that qualifies to be the heaven on earth for the child? In a functional home, the climate of the home is positive. In a functional home, the atmosphere is basically non-judgmental. In a functional home, each member of the family is valued and accepted for who they are. In a functional family, there is acceptance for individual differences. It's sad to hear parents comparing their children in a home. Oh, I wish you were so good in mathematics, like Tendai is, like John is, like Messi is. When in fact this child who is being compared with his or her sister or her sibling is more interested in the arts, not in the sciences. When we accept the differences in our children, we become a healthy, functional family. But sadly, sometimes we find homes like that when differences between children are emphasized instead of being accepted. In a functional home, each person is allowed to operate within his or her proper role. A child is allowed to be a child. An adult is allowed to be an adult. In a functional home, members of the family care for one another and they verbalize their caring and their affirmations of each other. The communication process is healthy. It is not a communication process where people do not understand exactly what you mean. Sometimes facial expressions are used instead of verbalizing what you feel. In a functional family, children are raised in such a way that they can mature and become individuals in their own right. Individual adults in their own right. They relate to mom and dad separately in a healthy manner. In a functional home, the family enjoys gatherings together. Some families actually cannot gather together for fear of friction. They can't even gather to have Christmas party together They can't even gather to celebrate someone's birthday. They can't even gather to celebrate mom and dad's wedding day. But they fear there could be some friction. We find families like that. In a functional home, members can laugh together and they can enjoy life together. In a functional home, family members can share their hopes and the dreams and the fears and concerns with one another and still feel accepted. In a functional home, a healthy level of intimacy exists within the home. A father can hug his daughter. A mother can hug her son without any negative feelings. That is a sign of a functional home. A functional home where loving, healthy relationships, happy relationships between husband and wife, parents and children can take place. This is the kind of family home God expects parents to lead. However, we do not find all homes being functional homes characterized by what I have just outlined. Functional homes are the opposite of a dysfunctional home. What is a dysfunctional home? A dysfunctional home is that hell on earth many children actually do suffer or do live in. A dysfunctional home is one that lacks much of the acceptance, of the openness, of the affirmations, of that open communication, that love, that caring, that togetherness that we find in a functional home. A dysfunctional home is a family home that has strayed off the course and has failed to meet the needs of children, the need of security, the need of acceptance, the need of guidance, the need of encouragement, so that they live a healthy life. A dysfunctional home is actually the product of a dysfunctional husband-father. The father plays a critical role in keeping his family on course. When he fails to keep his family on course, that's when the family becomes dysfunctional. The family has strayed away from being a family with healthy, acceptable guidelines that the children need. A dysfunctional home is characterized by abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, injury, and even neglect of the children. Neglect of children is abuse. A dysfunctional home is characterized by such abuse as constantly putting blame on a child for whatever happens. A dysfunctional home is abusive to the children when they distort their sense of reality. And that is very common in many homes, unfortunately. Abuse can take the form of overprotection of the child. Abuse can take the form of communicating double messages to the child, such as, I love you. The husband says to his wife, I love you, when his actions are saying the opposite. How could you love me? The wife asks, when you are ignoring me. Number two, characteristic of a dysfunctional home is perfectionism. A perfectionist parent demands a kind of military behavior from the children. Yes, we are called to live a life of excellence, which is attainable, not perfectionism, because perfectionism is not attainable. Expecting a perfect behavior from a spouse or a child is living in a world of fantasy and reality. A perfectionist father demands his standards and expectations are given through verbal rebukes and corrections, frowning, sometimes very penetrating glances. A child is looked at with such hostile eye, the message goes to the child in a very negative manner. That eye, that glance could be meaning, it is not good enough. I don't like it. It could be meaning, you are not good enough. Try again. All those negative forms of communication characterize most dysfunctional homes. In a dysfunctional home, the father leads with such things as, you ought to do that. You must do that. You should do that. These words are torture words which increase the guilt of the child and lower his or her esteem or self-image. A dysfunctional home is also characterized by rigidity. The parents lead very unbending lifestyles, unbending rules of living. Life is full of unrealistic beliefs, unrealistic demands. There's virtually no joy in such a home. There are no joyful surprises in such a home. A surprise could actually call for a rebuke when it was meant for a joy. In such homes, there are only two ways to do anything: the wrong way or my way. And children learn very quickly that there is no freedom in this house. Number 4 characteristic of a dysfunctional home is silence. Parents operate on gag rules. You should not talk about family issues outside this house. Don't ask anyone to help you if you have a problem. Solve it yourself. But the problem is, when all is quiet, it doesn't mean there is peace in that house. It could indicate the absence of peace. The 5th characteristic of a dysfunctional home is a place where feelings are repressed. Suppression of feelings. Don't show your true self. Wear a mask. Don't express your true feelings. But suppressed feelings will one day actually explode. Suppressed feelings sometimes lead to unnecessary yelling at the children or even domestic animals like dogs. When you find fathers abusing dogs, yelling at dogs, then you know all is not well in that house. Functional homes are families that identify and express and deal with feelings as they appear, not in a dysfunctional home. They do the opposite. Number 6 characteristic of a dysfunctional home is that you find the parents create a go-between form of communication. You find a father tells his daughter, Tendai, Mercy, please go and see whether your mother is still angry with me. Tell her I love her very much. And she goes and she tells her mother as the father has said. And the mother replies, tell your father to get lost. The child is put in the middle of a fight, which she knows nothing about. And it is because of the creation of go-betweens form of communication. Men, gentlemen, and ladies, Please don't do that. The seventh characteristic of a dysfunctional home is a home where there is double message. A double message. You say one thing, but you are doing another. Dear, do you love me? Of course I do. Yet his words, I love you, are actually contrary to what he is doing. What he is saying and what he is doing are two different things. What he is doing is saying, I don't care about you at all. But he has just said, yes, I love you. When you find such double messages in a family, you know the family is dysfunctional. Number 8 characteristic of a family is that lack of fun, that lack of sense of fun in the family. Everybody and everything is serious. Be serious, they are told. Work hard, they are told. You are what you do, they are told. Play is a waste of time. Work, work, work. That's what people do. To my listeners at this moment, do you now have a sense of how important a family home is in the life of a child and how influential the institution is in our lives? But of all the social institutions under heaven, there is nothing that is least known, least taught as the role of the family home in our society. All the subjects taught in our educational systems, there is nothing that receives as little attention as the family institution. But we are taught how to eat, we are taught how to sleep, and there is an advert which moves around, which they called Sleepadia mattresses. We are taught how to laugh, we are taught how to walk. Even at adult age, we are taught how to walk. We are taught how to dress. Even at adult age, we are taught how to dress. We are taught how to spend our money, let alone how to earn it. There is no school, no college, no university that teaches family studies or how to manage and lead the most important institution called family. Yet the truth is, your family home is the most powerful factor in the lives of your children, even in your own life. The COVID-19 pandemic told us in no uncertain terms that the family is primary. It is supreme. It has some supremacy. When we were threatened, we all ran back home as the most secure place from where we can manage the pandemic. I thank you. I hope and trust that you have understood the importance of a family home in the life of its members. I thank you for listening.